Coming from 2 healthy pregnancies, all you see is the healthy side of it. So when I got to this unhealthy pregnancy, I was in shock. When someone tells you that your child is going to die, you just want them to be wrong. You want a miracle. You want medicine to be wrong.
You wake up and you honestly think you had a nightmare of losing a child. And then you walk around the house and you know that you're in a nightmare. Because you don't hear that cry. You don't have to feed that baby. You get in your car and you look in your mirror and you don't see that car seat that should have been there.
We understand when an older person dies, it's hard, but they've lived their life. They've done all the things that we imagine that somebody would want to do. But a baby hasn't, and it's unimaginable and unthinkable. And I think that that resonates with a lot of people because it's scary and it's hard and it's fearful, and it's kind of those things that we have nightmares about.
Our prayers went from total healing and a long life to, please just let me meet you while you're breathing.
And at that moment, tears flooded because my daughter was here. 39 years I waited for her, and my daughter was here, and the doctor just said how beautiful she was. And all we ever heard was she was going to be deformed, she wasn't going to live. And I remember looking down and saying, thank you, God. Because a lot of parents don't get this opportunity of meeting their child while they're still alive. And then being able to set her in her mother's arm and let her mother hold her and to feel the breath on your skin. I mean, those are things that we were never promised, and yet we got.
Giving the parent the right and validating their need to acknowledge the importance of their child's life sets into motion their grief process, because it's starting already. You know, at the moment they hear that maybe their baby isn't going to live, or they're going to have to carry to term and that baby's not going to live, or the baby suddenly dies, that they need to know that that matters.
She was a life that was given to us, and it's something to be celebrated. Her whole entire life was nothing but her parents fully in love with her. She knew nothing but love. When you think about that, her life was amazing. It was only 28 minutes, but it was amazing. She didn't feel any pain. All she heard was, we love you, mommy loves you, daddy loves you, you're beautiful. You know, she has your nose, she has my lips. Her whole life was love. It doesn't get much better than that.
We don't talk about death in the United States, not when it relates to children. And when it's a baby, nobody wants to talk about that. And so we create this atmosphere that's not okay for people to grieve.
I felt very alone at first, just unfathomable at the thought of losing a child. And then our very first contact with, you know what, this is going to be okay, was our sister-in-law contacting NICU Helping Hands. This organization was just a stepping stone to finding out we're not even alone. And not only are we not alone, but there's people out there that are willing to sacrifice their time and give love to people they'll never meet. And that's the side of the story that isn't being told.
It's a little overwhelming to realize that there are so many people who care, that there are so many people passionate about wanting to make a difference for somebody they don't even know. And it's uplifting. It makes you hopeful because you realize that at the very core of human nature, there's goodness and there's love and there's compassion.
I will never in my life forget what happened from one small story. The impact of one small story changed thousands of lives. And not just now, thousands of lives in the future that we don't even know about. It's amazing.
It's sometimes unimaginable to think that someone would want to stop their day and sit down at this machine and very carefully and lovingly sew together an outfit for a little girl they're never going to meet, whose parents they don't even know.
This small gift provides the family hope that they're not alone. That while they have to make the journey, only they can do that, that there are people, witnesses, if you will, to the journey that care. And I think there's something encouraging and comforting about knowing that there's somebody, anybody, who cares.
No matter what, we wanted her. And come to find out, there's women sitting behind sewing machines right now that wanted her too. All of these seamstresses are doing this so that mothers like me can carry this baby no matter what and have something beautiful to know them by.
We might not ever get to meet the lady that made Graceland's dress. I hope one day we do. But I can only imagine that when she was making that dress, she did it out of a mother's love.
While it seems really hopeless and dark, I think that the gown signifies that there are people all over the world, all over our country, that don't want you to feel alone. And there's hope in that.
I'll never get a first birthday, or the first day of school, or a father-daughter's dance. I'll never get to give her a kiss going to prom, see her graduate, see her get married, or have her first child. And so for me, that dress was all those wrapped up in one. And for just a moment, I got that gift. So when I was putting it on her, I envisioned her saying, "Daddy, how do I look? Oh, Daddy, I love you. Oh, Daddy, he's a man like you." And for that moment, that dress gave me those memories.